Hello everybody, welcome to Talk About Houses. I'm Todd.
I'm Juana.
We're going to do a market analysis today between Las Vegas and Albuquerque.
Yes.
We're doing this, well first of all we've been to Albuquerque, it's a cute town, but we were asked by somebody, hey, because we just did one where we compared Las Vegas to another market, and now we're going to compare it to Albuquerque.
Right. So that means that if you put a request in the comments, we do read the comments, and given the opportunity, we would love to do whatever it is that you guys are asking us to do in the comments. In this case, compare Las Vegas with Albuquerque.
Unless it's maybe Tulsa, or because those markets are probably pretty bad. So we'll if you think your market's hotter than Vegas, then we'll compare it. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start off. We have 6 slides here we're going to go through. All the standard slides comparing the market. Wanda, let's talk about Albuquerque and how it's different from Vegas. So population-wise, we've got over 2 million. What's Albuquerque have?
It's just under 1 million. So, so they're a little bit less than half of us, but their market is on fire. On fire. So we're going to go into the first slide here. We'll put it up. So you see Vegas there on the left is at 80, which is pretty hot. It's a strong seller's market. 95 in Albuquerque. It's a smoking hot market. So that's pretty hot. We're going to go to the next slide here, and then we'll talk more about what's going on in Albuquerque. Okay, the first thing that's very noticeable on this, of course, Las Vegas is on the left and Albuquerque is on the right, is that median list price only $404. That's extremely cheap. I mean, compared to what's going on in the rest of the country. Like, you actually have starter homes there. Right.
Okay.
So, you know, if you're looking to purchase a home and you can live anywhere, then maybe you would want to live in Albuquerque versus Las Vegas, where it's much cheaper to buy a home in Albuquerque.
Yeah, the price per square foot also about 200 there. It's higher here. It's 271, and even at 271, we just had one where there was an offer on a house for like 800,000, and we thought, oh, maybe this thing's overpriced. We calculated out it was like 273. Bucks a square foot, so it was actually right on the money, you know, price wise.
And it went for multiple offers for over 800,000. It'll be interesting to see what the final number was, but our guesstimate at appraised value is maybe 750. Yeah. So they're going to have to come up with the rest in cash. Okay.
If you go down to inventory, here's a big difference: 1570 in Vegas, 274 in Albuquerque. Now. That's not very much. That's the reason that the market action index 95. It's a very, very low inventory. That number should probably be 500-600. Should be a lot higher.
So you're dealing with low inventory and a much more affordable market than other markets.
Median rent numbers there much cheaper. 1750 is the median in Albuquerque. 2200 is the median in Vegas. Vegas is just, you know, it's a more expensive city, but that doesn't mean Albuquerque. I mean, Albuquerque definitely has some high-paying jobs. So who's there, Wanda? Who's in Albuquerque? Who are some big employers?
So you've got the university is there, which is it's a big employer, and those are good-paying jobs.
Yep, it's a big unit. It's like Reno has UNR.
Right.
Albuquerque has UNM.
Right.
It's literally like in this, like it's right there.
Right.
There's like an old town and all where the downtown is, and if you just go east of it or west of it, that's it.
Right. They've got a big medical campus. There are a lot of good paying jobs there, and those are stable jobs. Those are not jobs that are really subject to economic trends, right? Because things like universities and medical jobs and these professional jobs are not subject to trends in the economy. These jobs are going to be there today, tomorrow, regardless of what the economy's doing.
Sandia National Labs is there,
right?
And that spaceport, that new spaceport thing is there. They have a deal with like SpaceX and some other companies. They're in New Mexico. Los Alamos is in the area.
Right.
White Sands Missile Range, that's all in the area. But you know, a lot of those people, you know, may not live way out there. They may live in Albuquerque or in that area. So it's super nice. There's a ton of stuff to do there. You know, it is definitely a market where it's more affordable.
It is more
right.
affordable.
It's more affordable than Vegas, and they probably aren't used to this. They did have some of the same problems that we had when the market ran up and kind of fell a little bit, but it's not anything like Vegas where the market's just on fire.
Right.
Like you could literally go there and just rent or buy a house. It's more affordable there.
Right. Well, except for the lack of inventory.
Except for the lack of inventory, you'd be fighting for a house.
Yes.
So we're going to go look at the market action index between Vegas and Albuquerque. Vegas on top, Albuquerque on the bottom. You can see these basically started off at 40, which is that normal number, and then the market got hot. Okay, so you can see about when the market got hot, which is literally during COVID. Remember, it took off in the summer and people couldn't figure out why. And then it softened and then it's just been taken off. And that's basically what it's been doing post-COVID. So market action index following right in line with Vegas. Here's the inventory chart. This is a little misleading. Vegas is on the top and Albuquerque's on the bottom. Vegas, it looks like we're at 0, but we're not because that bottom line's 1,000 homes. And on the bottom for Albuquerque, 0. So when you look at that, and they do go in line, like there's more homes on the market, you know, in certain parts of the year, maybe the fall, and then it drops in the spring. But remember that there's more churning in the spring. There's actually more homes being sold in the spring. So you look at that and go, oh, that's when you want to buy a house. Maybe. You have more choices. There's, market's not moving very fast that time of the year. This is the median list price. Now if you have Vegas on the top, you guys that watch the channel, you've seen this all the time, so you know what's going on here. This is a little different. Prices really, really took off during the pandemic, right? They really screamed. But then since then, really the last year and a half, they've kind of chilled out. They're up, but they're not up as much as Vegas. So if you just compare maybe the second half of that, you can see that it's not what Vegas has done, which has just been on fire. Because Vegas didn't really take off till about a year and a half ago. And actually, the Albuquerque's kind of done the opposite. Year and a half has been like, it's been okay.
Yeah. It's a much more stable market. I think that's really what the conclusion of this chart is.
Yeah, definitely a much more stable market. This is the last slide we have for Albuquerque market segments. What's interesting here, I think, is the bottom market segments, 269.9. What that now on top is Vegas, bottom is Albuquerque, but that 269.9 means that the middle price of the bottom quarter. So half of the bottom quarter, half or below 269, half or above. You can actually go get a starter home. You probably can't find a home for 269 in Vegas. I mean, you can, but it would probably sell in 0 days.
I don't know that honestly, I don't know that you could at this point. I mean, it would be pretty tough, and if you did, it would be a home that needs a lot of money to make it livable. We were looking at even condos for an investor, and they're higher than that. And these are these are properties that were considerably less, even a year ago.
The other interesting thing about this is when you look at the top. So that top for Vegas is like 1.5 million. That's the middle of the top quarter of homes, and it's 837. So that means only 12% of all homes are more than 837. And in Vegas, 837, I mean, probably 25%.
Right.
It's probably double that.
So I think part of that has to do with Vegas having so many second homes that are luxury second homes for people, while Albuquerque maybe doesn't have as many per capita as we do. Yeah.
And then, of course, Vegas is an international city. It's much easier to get here because everybody flies one leg. You can get to every major U.S. city in one leg, plus a bunch of countries. And I don't know any countries you can fly directly to Albuquerque from. Like maybe Mexico and maybe Canada, but certainly not London. Like I don't think British Airways goes from Albuquerque to London, or Air France doesn't go from Paris to Albuquerque.
Probably not.
So that probably has something to do with it too. The other thing too is that Albuquerque is predominantly people from New Mexico, and Las Vegas is people from all over the world.
Yes.
So because of that, it's like the network effect. You have more people, you have more stuff going on. Of course, economies are much different. One's a tourism economy, and one is much, like Albuquerque's not known for tourism.
No.
Yeah.
It does have a film industry that we didn't mention.
It does have a film industry.
Yes.
Yeah. like Vegas has one, but New Mexico, like Albuquerque has one. They have a film industry.
Absolutely.
Probably relatively large for, if you considered New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, it's probably the largest.
Yeah.
If you ever saw Breaking Bad, it's filmed there. So it was filmed there and it took place there. So it was both of those. But a lot of stuff is filmed in the area.
Okay, so I want in the comments, tell me if you think we would have done this video if it wasn't for Breaking Bad, okay? Because
we did it because somebody asked. But we saw Breaking Bad, so we're doing the video anyway. So. All
right. So tell us if you liked the video, if it was interesting to you. If you are from Albuquerque and you are more familiar with the market, please drop us a note and educate us. We would love to know more about your market. You know, besides the charts. If you have a request as far as where you live or where you're interested in moving to maybe, and having us do a video comparing Las Vegas to that metropolitan area, give us a shout out and we might do it. Please hit the notification bell, like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.